Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to AKGEC Digital Library. My name is Ayushi, Assistant Professor from IT Department. Today I am here to discuss very first topic of machine learning techniques, that is Introduction to Machine Learning. But before starting what is machine learning, it is very important for us to know what is learning. What is learning basically? Learning is a process where we acquire new knowledge, new behavior, new attitudes, new skills, new preferences over a period of time. Basically, learning is what we gain over a period of time with the help of experiences. Whatever we feel in our day-to-day life will help us in learning, will give a more better perspective to do a particular task more efficiently next time. And coming towards learning in machine learning, what is learning in machine learning? It is the process of teaching computers to learn from data and improve their performance over time, just like what we do in our day-to-day life. And the three key factors of learning are T, P and E: task, performance and experience. And depending upon including all these 3 points, the standard definition given to us is: a computer program is said to learn from experience E with respect to some class of task T and performance measure P. If its performance at task T as measured by P improves with experience E. This is all getting very confusing. What is T, P and E and how they are coordinated with each other, how they are linked with each other. So I am breaking down this definition in a simple language for you. Learning is a process. Learning is the process. Learning a computer program is considered to be learning if it is able to perform a particular task over a period of time by gaining experiences E, and we will check all this improvement by the help of a computer program is considered to be learning if it is able to perform a particular task T over a period of a time after gaining experiences E, and if we are able to measure the improvement with the help of a performance measure P. If there is no improvement in machine learning model, if there is no positive gain we are having from our model, machine learning model, then there is no learning, then there is no benefit of gaining all the experiences if we are not able to perform a particular task efficiently. And that efficiency and what type of efficiency we have achieved will be measured with the help of performance measure P only. And performance can be measured only if we are able to gain experiences. That means we are doing a particular task repeatedly in order to gain more and more experiences, and those experiences will in return help us to generate a better output, and this better output will be counted as the improvement in the performance of our machine learning model. Now coming towards next slide. What is well-defined learning problem? We have studied, we have learned what is learning. Then next step is how we will be able to design a well-defined learning problem. In order to design a well-defined learning problem, we must include the 3 points we have discussed earlier, that is task, performance measure and experience. And in order to discuss why we are learning, why we are discussing well-defined learning problem, it is important to design in a better way a well-defined learning problem, because it will give us a clear goal to our machine learning model, that what it should have to do, what it has to do in order to perform a task efficiently. What will be the ultimate goal of the machine learning model? So we will discuss it with the help of example. First example is to better filter emails as spam or not. First we have to, the problem statement is to better filter emails as spam or not, and with the help of this problem statement we have to identify what will be our task, what will be the performance measure, how we will measure performance, and what will be the experiences. So for the given problem, to identify or to classify emails as spam or not, our task should be to classify emails as spam or not. The ultimate goal is to identify whether the mails we are receiving is a spam mail or not. So that means the main goal is to classify, and this classification can only be done if our machine learning model is able to observe label of emails received as spam or not. This will be done only with the help of repeated experiences, repeated trials. Experience can be gained only with the help of repeated trials. And third is very important, performance measure. If we are doing a task with the help of the experiences, but we are not able to measure performance, efficiency of our machine learning model, then what will be the use of using our model? What will be the use? What will be the motive of using a machine learning model? So performance measure will be decided with the help of by observing the fraction of emails accurately classified as spam or not. The number of count of the mails that we have accurately classified whether this received mail is spam or not. This is spam and this is not. This is how we will be able to measure our performance. This count will be assigned as the value of the performance measure. And second example is of face recognition problem. You have seen biometric system in many of the institution organizations. Biometric system basically, here we can take example of attendance, employee attendance. Time in, time out can be considered as attendance. Face recognition in biometric system, there are multiple parameters, multiple attributes for marking our attendance. There can be thumb impression, there can be face recognition. Here we are considering an example of face recognition problem. And in this face recognition problem, our task is to predict different types of faces. Predict as in to classify the person who is standing in front of the biometric machine is the employee of this particular organization, and today I am marking the attendance of this particular person only. Thus, faces of all other employees should not be mixed. If person A is standing in front of the biometric system, then the scanner should, after scanning the face of the person A, the attendance of person B cannot be marked, and if it will be marked, then it will be a wrongful deed, and that we did not expect from our machine learning model. So the task is to accurately predict different types of faces. And what will be the experience in this particular problem? What will be the experience in this particular problem? We are going to train our machine model with the maximum amount of different face images. The data set we are going to use for this particular training will be huge. Then only our machine will be able to classify different one face from the other, one person from the other. And how we are going to identify, how we are going to measure the performance of this particular learning problem? If my model is going to predict maximum types of faces accurately, that this is person A's face, and in return I am going to mark attendance of this person A only, and the maximum number of faces it will be going to, it will identify, it will classify accurately. The maximum will be the performance. The maximum will be the performance value of the machine learning system. This is why I have discussed two examples of machine learning problem with you. Well defined how, why, and how we are going to write a well defined learning problem. Then after that, next and very important concept we are going to learn today is how we are going to design a learning system. What is a learning system basically? Learning system, we are not referring here learning system as machine. Till now we have not mentioned learning with respect to machine. We have not discussed machine learning. We are just referring learning system. Now we are very close to discuss machine learning, and before that it is very important for us to learn about a learning system. There will be going to 5 different phases that will be involved in learning system designing. First is, as you can see, choosing training experience. Second is choosing target function. Third is choosing representation of target function. Fourth is choosing function approximation. And fifth is, now we will discuss each and every step thoroughly. First step is choosing the training experience. This is a very crucial, very important step because it is the initiator, it is the initial step of the whole learning system, of the entire process. Our conclusion, our output is only depending on this particular step. Why so? Because here we are going to decide what attributes we are going to use for our training data. What type of training data, what type of training experiences we are going to include, we are going to feed to our machine learning model, or we can say machine learning algorithm. If we include a better quality of data set, well defined data set, then there are higher chances that our conclusion, that our output will be of higher quality, higher performance only. And it is very, very important to note that the data or experiences, whatever data or experiences we are going to feed to our algorithm, it is going to have a significant impact on the success or the failure of our model. So it is very important on our part to choose our training data and experiences very wisely, because the whole process, the whole subsequent steps will depend on this particular step, initial step only. Second is choosing a target function. In the earlier step, in the first step, we have discussed what will be our training experiences, what will be our training data. The next step will include, in order to achieve success, or in order to complete our particular task, what type of steps, what type of legal steps we are going to include. It is actually a case of a scenario of probability, where we will discuss, we will find out, we will observe all the possible steps that can happen in order to perform a particular task, either successfully or unsuccessfully. There may be chances of completion of a task with failure or success. The key point here is completion of task, whatever steps will be there. So in choosing target function, it means according to the knowledge fed to the algorithm, the machine learning model will choose the next move function, and that next move function will include all the legal steps that we are going to include, that should be taken in order to complete our task. For example, let's say we are taking an example of checkers game, or it will be better to take an example of chess. As I have mentioned in this particular slide, there is an opponent and a machine learning model who is playing. They both are acting as opponents to one another. And while playing chess with the opponent, when opponent is making chances or playing, when opponent is playing with machine learning model, then the machine learning algorithm will decide what will be the number of next possible moves in order to get success. This particular process at the end of machine learning model is going to be decided only while the opponent is playing its part. So in this particular step, we are just going to gather all the legal moves we have understood, we have observed in order to complete a particular task. This is what choosing target function. Target is what? Completion of our task. That's it. Then coming towards next phase, out of 5 phases, we have covered 2 phases, and the third step is choosing representation for target function. What is representation? Representation you can correlate with symbols, diagrams that represents a particular data. But here we are also we also include that particular scenario also, but before that we have to find out some other thing also. In the last step, we have gathered, we have created, we have chosen a target function that will comprise of all the legal moves, and in this particular step we will find out what will be the possible legal moves that is aimed to achieve success only. Okay, I am repeating. When the machine learning algorithm will know all the possible legal moves for the next step, it is to choose the optimized move using any representation. You can use tabular form, you can use linear equations, you can use hierarchical graph representation, and decision tree algorithm, you can use that also. So what will be the next move? Next move will be the target move that aims us, that derive us, that take us to the success of that particular task. In this particular step, we are discussing only that set of legal moves that bring us success only. But in the earlier step, we gathered all the legal moves that aims towards completion of task only, whether it will be success, whether it will be failure. Now, out of all those moves, we have filtered out only those moves that bring us success only. For example, in the last slide, in the last phase, we have discussed chess, example of chess. We will continue with the same example only, otherwise it will create confusion. So, when we have decided that while opponent is playing with its part, meanwhile machine learning model have decided, have gathered, have predicted, have observed all the possible legal moves to counter the opponent. Whether subsequently that will lead to success, maybe it will not. So, in this particular step, while playing chess, at a particular move, at a particular box, a machine learning model have only 4 possible moves, legal moves, only 4 possible legal moves. And out of all 4 possible legal moves, one will counter what will be the optimized solution. Which move will be optimized? Target function. That means I am opting for optimal move. optimal target solution. Optimal means best solution. Whatever moves I have gathered, whatever move I have gathered in earlier step, out of all those moves, I am going to opt for use only optimized move that will lead my model towards success. Step 4 is choosing function approximation algorithm. Now we have this in earlier slides, last 2 slides, we have first in phase 2, we have gathered all the possible moves that leads to the completion of the task. Then in phase 3, we have filtered out only the optimal solutions, optimal moves that leads us to the successful completion of the task. And in this particular phase, we will approximate all the moves, all the legal moves that leads to the successful completion of the task, to find out only one best of best solution. And this is not, in simple language, I have delivered, I have discussed, I have said ki you have to filter it out, you have to find out only the best solution, but it is not that easy. An optimized move can't be decided using just the training data. Training data is not sufficient to find the optimal solution. At runtime with different opponents, every time machine learning model with every move will face different move, and machine learning model has to counter that move in order to achieve success. But every opponent has different mindset, different approach for every problem, and with the help of training data only, we are not going to find out the optimized move. Optimal solution is not easy to find. So the data set has to go through examples that help it learn which steps to take, what steps to have to take, how many steps have to take, and this can only be achieved with the help of repeatedly performing a task. When we are going to repeatedly perform a task, repeatedly doing a task, we will gain a huge number of experiences, huge set of perceptions we are going to have from different opponents, and those experiences will help our machine to work better next time, to perform better next time, to think out of the box, what we say. So after this, the machine gives feedback based on those steps, and those feedbacks, those steps, those positive feedbacks, negative feedbacks, feedbacks of whatever kind we will receive, will help us to gain learning, increase learning of our machine learning model. And this is the motive behind this particular concept, to increase learning. And with each and every experience, with each and every feedback we receive from our machine learning model, our algorithm will get better over time only. And with the same example we are carrying from the second slide, we will continue here also. If we are training a model to play a chess, it won't immediately know the best moves, because every opponent has different mindset, different approach towards a problem. It is not easy to predict the next move before an opponent play its part. So the algorithm will try different moves. Sometimes we will receive success, sometimes we will receive failure. But whatever will be our outcome, these feedbacks will give us a huge bank of experiences, and this particular experiences will increase our training data set only. This in return is going to increase our data set, over which our machine is going to train again and again. Each time it learns from this experience, each and every time with the help of experience, with the help of feedback, our machine learning model is going to learn something. and with each and every move our model is going to efficiently and accurately predict which steps are going to lead our model, our machine towards success. And this is the meaning. When we will decide this particular approximation algorithm, what process we are going to imply over our model, the next step will be, next and last step will be to convert that particular model into a design. The next step is final design. The final design of the system is made only when we are satisfied with the functioning, with the performance of our machine learning algorithm. And it is not mandatory that after final design our machine learning model is going to have success only, because with each and every trial, with each and every testing, with each and every run, our model is going to make some, maybe sometimes it is going to make some mistakes, sometimes it will not. So the final design of the system is made after it goes through multiple mistakes, multiple corrections, multiple successes, and then only it will decide what will be the learning from this particular set of experiences. And the real time example of this particular step, this particular concept is, lately we have a very smart computer based machine learning model, that is Deep Blue, and it won a chess game against the expert Garry Kasparov. And it is the first machine learning model who actually beat a human chess champion, a real human chess champion. And it is a commendable job from for those involved in the training, in the development of this particular model Deep Blue. So for today we will wind up this particular concept, this introduction of machine learning here only, and in the next part we will discuss machine learning and types of machine learning.